their parents, putting them in their hatchback with all their possessions and bringing them to a dorm room. But that's really not what the typical college student is today. They are adult learners. They're veterans who are coming back to school. They are people who are getting reskilled. And unfortunately, the types of critical retention enforcing resources that a student needs doesn't fit that same mold. For example, that 18 to 22-year-old, that student will maybe have a resident advisor who's going to greet them when they come on campus. They're going to have a career advisor who's going to help them when they're ready to get their resumes approved. They're going to have their professor teaching classes in front of them. None of these tools, none of these people are available for the online students and the non-traditional students. And this is really where Upswing comes in. Our entire goal is to bridge that chasm and give them the access that they need so that they can graduate at the same rate and at the same level and opportunity as their on-campus counterparts.
So what are some of the tools that you bring with Upswing?
We really combine three key things. The first is a text messaging-based virtual assistant called Anna. Anna's entire goal is to follow that student along with the student journey and help them with reminders about tests and exams, any sort of assignments that they might forget, FAFSA registrations, do they need help with any sort of counseling services. We want to make them feel whole, feel like there's someone who cares about them all throughout the journey. If they're repeating back to us that they need, some sort of help with academics or counseling or what have you, our next goal is to connect them in virtually, live with one of those resources. And that's what we call our integrated student services platform. That platform is specifically aimed to provide as close to an in-person experience as possible for an online student. Everything from audio and video to the ability to do screen sharing and upload documents. We want to create that holistic experience. And then finally, for a lot of our colleges, they don't always have the ability to provide these resources all the time. And so we've created a 24/7 network of coaches. These coaches provide support all day, every day in over 400 different subjects. And by combining all these three things together, we're really giving that online student, that adult learner, the ability to feel like their college campus really does care for them and really does want to see them succeed and ultimately graduate.
Well, and what impact are you having on dropout rates, and what's the ROI for an academic institution?
We've seen really strong ROI with our institutions. What we've seen is that in general, the passage rate for students have been increasing around 10 to 15% per year. What that's meant in terms of sheer dollars is upwards of $200,000 to $250,000 back into the pockets of those institutions. What that's meant for the student has been an increase in grades. For example, one of our shining partners is Winston-Salem State University, where they conducted an independent study and found that Upswing actually helps to increase their writing grades for students by 20%, math grades by 10%. Houston Community College System, we work with them as well. And what they've been able to find is that for each individual intervention that a student has, the GPA actually increases by 0.05. So if we can really begin to have those types of monumental yet individualistic impacts on students, we think that it can not only be beneficial for the institution, but impactful for the students as well.
Upswing has been able to help so many students to date. I'm curious to see how the platform grows from here. And I think there's value in continuing to support students after they graduate as well.
Well, the job market for fresh grads can be tricky to navigate for sure, so the platform could definitely help. Connecting them with employers looking for the new skills they just acquired would be a win-win for both parties.
If you come across some breakthrough technology you think we should know about, let us know online. You can find us on the web, on Facebook, and on Twitter at